We have a repair of a display today, a Model S LED display. And in the previous videos, this is a different display than that one, but in the previous videos I could kind of tweak and push on this and get the segments to start working again. And that was just a solder issue on the back. So there's a row of pins on the very top and very bottom for each one of these digits. Make sure you reflow those and that they have good connections and continuity to the next point on the circuit board. But for this particular display, it was actually missing the top and the top right segment of the always 0 in the score. And kind of messing around and resoldering didn't really bring it back. And I noticed that the previous owner had some zip ties shimmed behind there. And I figured that was a way to kind of make it sit perfect when it would actually work. But no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work. So then I replaced the digit. And when I fired it back up, I got one of the segments back, but not the very top one. So I started looking elsewhere, and on these chips, these are the stock ones. These are just resistor packs. They're 180 ohm resistors that are in a dip package. So the pin on each side is just 180 ohm resistor. So from pin 7 to 8, there's a 180 ohm resistor. There's another one, and then there's a total of 7 of them in this particular package. And they're isolated. They're not networked. They're not bus, so it's the same as just having 7 individual resistors sitting there. And when I would tweak, when this was running, I could actually push and tweak on this resistor pack that's already been replaced. And I found out that I had a couple bad resistors or a break internally within this dip package. So I foolishly replaced the digit when actually my problem was this resistor network or array was bad. So I put a new socket in, and then I also had trouble finding a place that had the 7 resistor 14 pin packages in stock. So I just grabbed a 16 pin package of the same resistance and I put it in there. So this is kind of a hack. But I just left the last 2 pins hanging out because, again, you can't do this with a normal IC that would have power and ground. This would never work. But if this is just an isolated resistor array, we're just not using that very last one. And then I hung it off the right side because I think off the back side it might be kind of close to those traces. And I might clip those leads too. But I just did this for test purposes, and then whenever I can find one of these that's a 14 pin in stock, I'll probably just replace that. But now that that is in place, our digit works again. We can also use this video to kind of contrast how the newer displays in brightness compare to the old ones. So the old ones are the red ones that have the red background, and then I couldn't find any that were like this style as new replacements. They all had either a gray background or a black background, but then the digit itself still lights up as red. So we'll power it on. You can also tell that there's a pretty big difference in brightness. So kind of just covering that one up. You can kind of see that's the normal factory brightness. And then that's how bright the replacements would be. So if you're doing just one, replacing just one segment, it's probably going to look pretty funny. So I'm probably going to have to go through and do all of them in this newer style, even the ball display one. But now we have all of our segments back. Remember, this one is always just 0, so there's no control for the middle segment. You can also look up the data sheets for these if you're missing one of these segments. They're lettered. There's A, B, C, D, E, F. And you can figure out, okay, if I'm missing this one, which pin does that correspond to? You can trace the pin on the back of this to which resistor in these packages it responds to as well. So this resistor pack goes to this one. I'm going to guess that one goes to that one. That one goes to that one, and then there's a resistor pack for this one as well. Well, we can start a game and just prove that everything's working. So that's going to stay at 0 for the entire game. So I'm just using my test harness to click off some points. So hopefully this helps you troubleshoot your display. should hit the chasing zeros pretty soon. Alright, thanks for watching.